What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo.
Canadian
I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
To all you Blues fans, we're bleeding blue with you.
Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues.
Blue Note Fan Report. Hey, everybody, it's Guy the Hawaii Blues fan, and we're going to do a 20 to 30 minute post game. I think Justin will be along very, very soon. I didn't do a show today. One, I'm not feeling good. Sorry, I got things going on. Two, I thought I would be shopping today, and that kind of got shifted to tomorrow, which kind of worked, and I can still do tomorrow night's show. Looks like it's going to be 8 o'clock. I haven't gotten a confirmation, so I'm going to shift it to 8 o'clock, and we'll kind of go from there. We will talk about the game today. Let me bring in my co-host, my buddy, my pal, my friend, Mr. Justin Eagle Eye Scott.
Yeah, foul mouth is right. Because I think I have every single right to be angry about that one, and we'll get into it. We'll definitely tackle it.
We're gonna be at odds on this one. I'm not angry with this game at all. Right?
I'm not angry. The Blues won. The Blues were the better team. They were the better team from start to finish. And the only reason the Florida Panthers scored a goal in this game was poor officiating in the second period. The game could have been 6-0 for the St. Louis Blues without poor officiating.
Yeah, I will say that the officiating could have been better. I don't think it was as bad as you're making it out to be. And that's just my opinion against your opinion. It's fine. I know you were really upset about the goaltender interference.
No. Actually, no. The goaltender, yeah, I was not happy about the goaltender interference. It's not as egregious as the one in Seattle. It was goalie interference. The whole definition of goalie interference was met in that criteria, in my opinion. It should have been goaltender interference. Holford doesn't get touched. He doesn't get just touched once. He gets touched twice in that play. Goalie interference could have been black and white, gray and white. That, for me, comes down to the whole fact of the stupid challenging rule, where if you challenge and you get it wrong, you get a penalty. I hate it. It needs to go. It needs to die 1,000 deaths.
I've told you that. I don't like that at all.
My biggest issue with this game is the Parayko hold. What the NHL did on the Parayko hold was a joke. That was the whole reason the Florida Panthers were in that game. Yeah, the goalie interference one. Okay, fine, whatever. It's 2-1. What did the NHL do outside of that? They get the right call on the Blues goal, so I give them credit on the Blues call. And then what do? They turn around, give the goalie interference goal, reward that one. Okay, so that's fine, 2-1. But then what did they do? They had Parayko on a breakaway, getting held by the Florida player.
It should have been 4-on-4. It should have been 4-on-4. They were both open.
But instead, they don't do 4-on-4. They give Parayko the only penalty, which allowed Florida to get back into the game when they did not deserve it. I want to pose this question to anyone. I want to pose this to you. I want to pose this to our audience. What did the Florida Panthers do outside of the second period when they got rewarded a goalie interference goal and a holding call on Parayko? What did the Florida Panthers do in that game?
They play down to us, right? I mean, what we get accused of doing all the time, they did tonight. they played down to the Blues. They did not think the Blues were a good enough team, and it did feel like from the get-go they played down to them. Hoffer's really showing that he can take the net at some point within the next 2 years. I do agree with that. That's from Ryan Green. He also said, "I didn't know if I didn't know any better, I would think we lost again because of Justin." LOL.
No, and that's the thing, Ryan. That's the thing, Ryan. The Blues would have lost.
Stop. Can you see the number that shows how many people are watching?
No, I can't see.
Okay,
no.
You don't see it up there where the likes are? I just saw 27. Sharon Speaks,
really?
Thank you. Yeah, we have 20. Well, it's down to 26 now, or 25. We have 24 on YouTube and one on my account. Last minute show. I like it. Nah, just 10 of them just went away. But thank you. We appreciate you.
When you, Ryan, and I like what you're saying, but I have, first of all, okay, look, there's been egregious things this year, and we talked about it, the Seattle one. The Seattle one doesn't pale in comparison to this one. This one was very tame compared to that one. The Seattle one was definitely going interference. I could see why the officials let this one go, but that's fine. My massive issue is the Parayko holding call. Why are you calling a holding call on a player that is on a chance for a breakaway? You should have called both guys. If you were going to call a penalty, both guys should have went. Because how are you going to call the guy that's going to be on a breakaway for holding when the Florida player is all over Parayko from preventing him from getting a breakaway chance?
Yeah, no.
It makes no sense.
That one, I'm okay. You're right. That was a bad call. I will absolutely agree with that. It was a bad call, and it should have been 4-on-4. I think they were both holding, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was one over the other. Originally, Curb said, because I listened to, I had it on. Say as much as I can. Excuse me. Curb that thought the penalty. Parayko drew a penalty. Now, I had already gotten the update because I get the updates about a minute before they happen, 2 minutes before they happen, because we know about the TV delay when streaming. And it had said that Parayko was going to the box, and it surprised me. And then when I see the play, I'm like, what the hell? How is Parayko going to the box? That didn't make any sense to me. But, it is what it is.
I'm fine. The thing is I'm fine with Parayko going to the box, but the Florida player deserved to be in the box as well. They were both holding. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. So that is my issue. And you could have, I get there was a full 20 minutes to play in the third period. The Blues came out and played well. They overcame the dumbness of those calls in the second period. But then again, I say, what did the Florida Panthers do up to that point until that point actually happened to where they tied the game? Florida was non-existent. But the Blues played one of the best road periods I've seen them play in the first period. They didn't let Florida do anything.
Road games they played all year.
I know, and the Florida Panthers did nothing until the second period when they got all that BS non-bullcrap calls. So my thing is did Florida really deserve this game? No, they clearly didn't, because the Blues came in and quite frankly demolished them in the third period. I mean, what did Florida do in the third period? I mean, yeah, they had their push, but outside of that, I mean, the game was over. I mean, this was a game that the Florida Panthers did not control whatsoever.
Yeah, no. I know it was tied 2-2, but even then, I didn't feel like this was a game that was in jeopardy. Like, oh my God, here we go again. We blew a 2-goal lead. I didn't feel like that was the case in point. And then you look at, that's the first last minute goal the Blues have scored in a period all season. And those are really, really, really freaking important because they build on it. And you look at this game, Falk scores that at the 1959. There was 0.8 seconds left on the board. 0.8 seconds left on the board. And he makes it 3-2. They go into the locker room now, instead of being slightly defeated because of what happened, they're on a high and they come out that way. Now they don't score the go-ahead. I mean, what I would consider to me the game-winning goal. I know it's not Falk's is, but to me the game-winning goal is Neighbor's goal. Stenberg getting his second assist. Our second career assist. He got his first one on the first goal from Neighbors. Neighbors with the second goal, 10 goals this season. And it, to me, that at that point, they just started to control the game. I mean, no, they and then with 5 minutes to go, and I don't think this is a bad move. I honestly don't. With 5 minutes to go, they pulled a goalie, and as much trouble as the Blues have had 6-on-5, I've done the same thing with a team as good as Florida, and the Blues end up getting that other empty netter, which puts the game away at 16-28, and it's shorthanded on the penalty. Now, I was setting the show up, so I didn't see the last couple of minutes of the game, so I didn't see what the penalty was. I guess looking here, it was a high stick on Justin Falk.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a penalty. It was. But I mean, this game was already out of reach by then. I mean, like I said, this game was a game that the Blues. First of all, the Blues controlled the first period. They were the better team in the first period. Hofer did not allow Florida to get any ozone time because anytime Florida was getting in the zone, they were throwing the puck in, trying to dump and chase. And every time they did it, Joel Hofer played the puck beautifully. By the way, might I add. Got the puck out. Blues were out now. So the Blues, although getting outshot in the first period, they didn't have anything. The only shots that they got were from the outside, from the blue line. No coverage in front of Bennington, or not Bennington, Hofer, sorry. No screening in front of Hofer, nothing. Just easy saves. Okay. And then the second period rolls around, and the Blues are playing good. They have the momentum. You clearly see that they're the better team. Yeah. And then it spirals. The Blues score. First of all, I want to give credit because I say that I never give credit. The referees made the right call, and it didn't even take a review. The referee with eagle eyes himself, in honor of me, saw it in this small minuscule thing, which they never do because they never can see anything. They can't even see the big stuff that they let go, but they see this minuscule goal go in. So he calls the right goal on that one, and then the goal interference, and then everything started to trend downwards. The Blues didn't give up, though. They showed that adversity. They battled through it, and then scored, like you said, left
during
in the period.
Intermission. Yeah, during the intermission, they come back and they show that puck. They show the overhead, which they went and reviewed it, and I would have reviewed it. I was okay with the review of that. They didn't show the overview in the review, and they called it, but during the intermission, they showed the overhead, and you can see, because I thought we got lucky, but you can see from the overhead that the puck is clearly across the line, right? And I
mean, might I add though?
Say again.
I said no. I was just saying. I said I know it went in, but might I add that goaltender Tarasov, what a fantastic save, though. I mean, even though it went in, and but that was still a hell of a save. I mean, that's up there with one of the better saves.
Oh, I agree. Chris Jockey says the Blues outplayed the refs in the second. Thank God for Falk.
Yeah, they did. Absolutely, right. Absolutely, they outplayed the refs in the second period. Absolutely, they did, Chris. And I know guys not going to agree with me, but I don't really care because this game could have been 5 or 6-0 Blues without those calls. Or if you want to add the goal interference goal, fine. They would have won 5-1 or 6-1. They outplayed Florida from start to finish in this game.
That one, the goalie interference one, was that a power play goal? Was that from the?
No, I don't think so. No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah. The power play goal was Reinhardt on the Parayko one.
On the Parayko one, yeah. Which is the one I have more of an issue with. Yeah. Is not the goal interference one, which I did. Okay. I did mention it to you, but the Parayko one is the one I have the problem with.
Okay. The goalie interference. Now look, I have problems with the Parayko one too. The goalie interference, you can chop me up all you want. I don't have an issue with them or letting that be a good goal because. And you're right. He did get hit twice, but they've now set a precedent, and they talked about it on TV, of would the goalie had a chance to stop it? right? And did the goalie get a chance to reset? And it did look to me like Hofer was reset. Now, that's a 50-50. And I agree. Now, that's the one challenge that I would take away. If you're wrong, it's a power play. I would take it away. Or you got to change this. If it is goalie interference, it becomes a penalty, right? Mm-hmm. If you're going to disallow the goal for goalie interference, then it becomes the penalty, right? Because you're giving them a double whammy on one side. Why not give it on the other? Why not give it on the other when it is goaltender interference? And that's just how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I said. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Because so here's the thing: if this is goaltender interference, the moment that puck, the moment that he hits the goaltender, right? The moment that he hits the goaltender, if they're in control of the puck, the play ends, right? The play ends. It comes off. So it's still a penalty. You're taking a goal off that wouldn't have counted no matter what, because the play would have been blown dead if they had control of the puck. So you're not really, quote unquote, double whammying them, right? You're double whammying the team saying, hey, I think my goalie got interfered with. Go look at it. And you're not double whammying the team on the other side of that. So that's how I feel about it. Am I upset with that call? Really? Am I upset with the Parayko call? Abso-freaking-lutely I am. Right? Absolutely I am. Getting a few comments. Bailey says, keep the offense. And this is a playoff team, but we need it 3 to 5 games for the rest of the season. Actually, I think we're closer to 4 or 5. 6 goals for this team, 30-plus shots on goal. Officiating is just something you have to overcome. Great game. I do agree with that comment. It is, because it should be the same for both teams. The officiating was good when both teams complained it was bad.
Yeah, I mean, but this is like I said, this isn't just like this. It's another trend that we've seen. The Blues and the Florida Panthers were penaltyless in the first period. So both teams were not penalized in the first period, as far as I remember. And then they go into the second period where the Blues have had the most struggles. And again, we see the second period become a problem. Is it a second period thing where this Blues team is not disciplined, or is it just the referees just wanting this stuff to happen? Because it really makes you wonder. And I put it in my post. I said 100% I think betting is going on in the NHL. There is no way that this team consistently goes 2 penalties or 2 periods without getting penalized as much. And in the second period, where they supposedly have the most problems in the NHL, are consistently taking penalties over and over again. And we're not talking about 1 penalty. We're not talking about 2 penalties. We're talking about 3, 4, 5 penalties in the second period.
Well, okay, for today, let's be fair here. Now you can say they took 2 penalties in the period, right? But they didn't. They only took 1. Because I don't count the delay of game, the challenge, as a penalty. No,
that's not one that
penalty.
That's not one that they took.
They took 4. They got 4 penalties in this game. They took 3. Because I'm not counting that first one, unsuccessful challenge, right? Bench minor, not counting that one. They got a holding on Parayko. That one was questionable. I will agree there. Then
no. Well, let me correct you here. It was not questionable. Yeah, it wasn't questionable. It was downright wrong. That's the difference. It wasn't correct. It wasn't questionable.
He was holding, but so was the other player.
Exactly.
They both
but they did. Penalized, yeah, they both should have got penalties, which makes that call wrong, not questionable. It makes it wrong.
Okay, fair enough. That was the only penalty they took in the second. The other 2, the Tucker and the Falk, they took in the third. Now in the second, Florida took 3 penalties. They took Verhage with hooking at 0-4-0. They took Sunika. I think I said that right.
Seneca,
at the 2-minute mark. And then they took Balinkas in the second at the 13 mark. And I think that's the one. No, that's the one that led to the penalty, maybe. The Blues got the power play in the first, on the second penalty, the one with on the first penalty, the one with Verhage for hooking. That's where Bergen gets his 4th of the season and his first ever. He ends up with his first ever 3-point game with a goal and 2 assists. So look, I get your frustration. I absolutely understand your frustration with officiating. Did you watch that video I sent you earlier?
Yeah, I watched it. And this is what I also want to bring up too is and that's a good point that you bring up. Yeah, they were only really penalized for 1 in that second period, but still, I want to say this because although I do agree with that, it wasn't 3-4 that we've been seeing in the second period. Guess what, guy? They took 1 penalty. They took the 2 in the 2, but we're not counting the challenge. Yeah. So they took the 1. But my problem, guy, is they took 1 penalty. But guess what? That penalty that they called was wrong. So they were 0 for 1 on right calls on the Blues in that period.
Well,
so
it wasn't. Okay, you got to be careful. I know why you're saying wrong, but you got to be careful saying wrong. The problem isn't that Parayko was holding. The problem is that so was the other player. They were both holding. So calling one up and not the other is the issue. That doesn't make the penalty wrong. The problem is not calling it on the other player.
Okay, whatever. Wrong, mistake, whatever. It's still not a good call. Okay. I mean, Parayko holds him. He holds the Florida player. The Florida player holds him, prevents him from getting a breakaway. They both should have been called, and they weren't. I mean, there's no defending that in any way.
Bailey says the cycle game and puck possession on point reminds me of the Vancouver game early in the season. Great work on the puck in the O-zone. If Falk didn't score at the end of the second, who knows what 2 teams come out in the third. And that's a great
Exactly, Chris. Exactly.
You'd be surprised if the entire NHL was rigged? I mean, WWD is, and you watch that. Haha.
No, well, first of all, rigged. No, WWE is pre-scripted. You can still get hurt in professional wrestling. So I hate the word fake. I hate the word rigged. It is pre-scripted. So yes, technically rigged. But no, the NHL is not rigged. The NHL is having a betting problem. For me, okay, we've been listening to this for the last couple of weeks now. I am 100% all in on the betting allegations that are taking place in the NHL. I 100% believe that there's betting going on in the NHL. 100%. 100%.
So you believe that someone is trying to fix games? That's what you believe?
I believe I don't know who that would be. There is betting. It's not just the Blues. It is not just the Blues. There's shitty calls all over the league. There is 100% betting going on in the NHL. Not rigging. Rigging is a little different. Betting is what I'm going with. I'm 100% going with betting.
Chris, and I don't understand this. Chris Jockey, if the answer is E, all of the above, and you pick A, you're still wrong. Not sure where you're going with that, Chris. Help me out there. Justin's attitude towards a win is like my wife being mad I gave her $1 million without asking first.
Ryan, I'm ecstatic about the win. The Blues played a very, very good road game. It was one of their best of the season. But my issue lies with the fact of, the Blues won 6-2. I'm so happy that they won. But the Blues won a game that they should have realistically, Joe Hofer should have had a shutout in. I mean, this was a game that you could have had Joe Hofer get another shutout. Why would I not want my goaltender to get another shutout? I mean, granted, granted, you don't know granted, you don't know what's going to happen. It's a what if statement. But like I said, the black and white gray area of goaltender interference, okay, you allow the goal. My thing, like I said, is the Parayko one that I have a massive issue with over the goaltender interference one, because when you called a power play for the Florida Panthers, you allowed them to get into the game, in which they did, so they tied the game up. So you're lucky that the Blues dug in and found a way to win, because in all honest opinion, the Florida Panthers got a penalty or a power play that they didn't deserve.
Yeah, no, I do agree they got a power play that they didn't deserve. I do agree that there was that was not called correctly on both sides, right? He says, Bailey asked, I'm sorry, do you really think, I do not think, oh, sorry, let me try and reread this again. I'm sorry, I do not think there is really any way the refs call on the ice is any way correlated. I think that's what it's correlated with the books. I think it's harder of the four sports. I've said this before. I think that it is definitely harder for a referee in hockey to affect or guarantee the outcome of a game. Can they affect the outcome of a game? Absolutely they can. But in this case, right, if you were a betting person, and Justin, I don't know, do you bet? I'm not sure.
I'm not much into betting. I was contemplating getting into some of that, but no, I'm not betting currently or anything like that. But yeah.
Because in this situation, right, to me, the bet's always on the underdog, right? That when you're fixing something, you're fixing it towards the underdog. And if that's the case, to say that they call that penalty to let them back in the game, if you were fixing it, that's the last thing you'd want. Because, while they're within the spread, you're still not on the money line. Well, I think that's what the money line is. I'm not completely sure, but you're still, there's, it's harder to see it. I mean, if the Blues were the favorite, and this was okay, I get it. Blues were the underdog; they covered. Just harder for me, man, to see it. So
it's a thing. Hockey, okay. I get what you're saying about the whole refs can't, like, they're not going to be the reason that a team loses or anything like that. But granted, what have I said about hockey? Hockey is all momentum based. You see it, you feel it, you hear it in the arena. You know when momentum shifts. Hockey is about momentum. When you have momentum, your team is a lot more likely to be successful. And again, I say the Florida Panthers did absolutely nothing up to the point where they got rewarded a power play for no reason. And then what did they do with that penalty? They took momentum. The Florida Panthers didn't have any life in this game at home. And this is why I didn't call you out on it in the beginning, but you always get on people for saying that the Blues play down to their competition. But here you said that the Florida Panthers play down to their competition. So are you giving the Blues credit? Or are you saying that the Panthers are just so much better than the Blues? I'm kind of curious about that.
I'm saying that in my eyes at the moment, the Panthers are, especially in the standings, considering that if they win this game, they're first place, are the better team over the Blues. However, tonight, the Blues completely outplayed the Panthers and have snuck themselves. Now, I mean, it's temporary and there's games in hand, but they've snuck themselves back into the wild card race. The problem with Central Division here is you've got Minnesota, Dallas, and the Avalanche who are running away with the division. Right? So unless one of those teams falls back, you really got to pick something up. And you're right. You're good. You're fair calling me out on that. I just felt like today you look at, and I know the Panthers haven't had the season everyone expects them to have, but they're sitting in the second place, right, in their division. So they're still a good team.
I don't think they're in second. I think they're in fourth.
I will double check real quick.
I think they're in fourth. if I'm not mistaken, from the last time I looked. I could be wrong though. Pretty sure
They are third. They are
okay,
third.
third. Okay,
Right.
so yeah. So I was looking at something wrong. I thought that they were
tied for second. They're third by point percentage.
So and well, in that case, I want to say that no, I want to say, and I want to say this because I don't agree with this either. The Florida Panthers did not play down to the St. Louis Blues tonight. The Blues were just a better team. The Blues were just a better team. The Florida Panthers, yeah, they're banged up, they're injured, but this was not a Florida team that played down to the St. Louis Blues. I mean, like I said, I can't give credit when you say oh, I hate the prospect of the Blues playing down to competition, but then you say that the Florida Panthers play down to the Blues competition. Okay. I can't agree with that because I think that the Blues were just a better team tonight. I mean, if you watch what we saw tonight, the Blues were they were like sharks smelling blood in the water tonight. I mean, they were all over Florida. I mean, the puck control, as someone pointed out in the chat, I don't remember who. Sorry, Ryan, Chris, or whatever. The puck control was. I think it was Bailey. Bailey. The puck control was
one of the two.
Yeah. The puck control was outstanding tonight. The breakouts were outstanding tonight. The Blues are doing something right now that we didn't see them doing on a consistent level, and that's breaking out the puck. What did I say in the last game, Guy, when we were here? I said that the Blues, the one thing that's making them so successful is breaking out of their own zone. They're not turning over the puck as much. So when they're not turning over the puck, they're transitioning from the neutral zone into the offensive zone and getting chances. Yeah, the pucks. The biggest issue for the Blues right now is putting the puck in the back of the net. That is 100% the biggest issue for the Blues right now. But I think it'll come. I think we're seeing a little bit more of a consistent Blues team as of right now.
Yeah, we are. The Blues currently sit at 14, 15, and 8 with 36 points. They are technically a point out of the wild card spot. I say technically because the San Jose Sharks, who are in the last wild card spot, have 2 games in hand on them. They are a point behind Utah, and they are tied up in games. They've created some separation with the Winnipeg Jets. Now, they're not out of the margin. We're still within the margin, but they've made it harder on the Jets. The Jets are 13-6-3 with 32 points and 35 games played. So they have 3 games on hand, which is a total of 6 points. But now you have to win all 6. Right?
Well, and
win all
see
3.
the thing,
win all 3. Right? You got to get all 6 points. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the same thing I want to say with this is, the Jets are not out of this. The Jets are good enough. They have a top line that are good enough to get them out and into a playoff picture. Same with Hellebuck. He's good enough to get them there. The thing with me is San Jose is going to be one of them teams that, they're playing impressive hockey. They're winning some gutsy games, but San Jose is slowly, surely going to die off a little bit. I'm not saying that they're a bad team. I'm saying that they're a young team still going through a rebuild. So they are going to drop off. So that is going to open up room for a team like St. Louis if they want to grab it and run with it. Because if the Blues can get more consistent, especially heading into this last game before the break and then coming out of the break, if they can be consistent, this Blues team could be in a playoff spot. They really could be.
I'm with you. I think they could be in a playoff spot. I just put it up here. Ryan Green says last 3 games we got 5 out of 6 points. That's huge. That's what we've needed, right? We have guys coming back soon. Kyrou is skating, right?
Yeah, Snuggerud's on the trip. Yep, Snuggerud's on this trip, I believe.
I think he's skating. I don't think he's going to be back. I think he's skating, right? You're not going to see. I don't think you see Snuggerud or Kyrou in against Tampa Bay. But what I do see is this is a team saying, let's start getting you acclimated back to being with the team. Right?
Yeah.
And so that's good news. I know that Walker is getting closer to coming back. Right? Walker is getting closer to coming back. And who else are we missing?
Snuggerud? No. Yeah, we already went over Snuggerud. We have Snuggerud, Walker, Holloway.
Yeah, Holloway just
Holloway's
had surgery, so he's not there. And then Snuggerud, I don't know if Snuggerud's on the ice or not. Right?
I think they said he was on the trip.
Snuggerud's on the trip? Okay. Jason says Hoffer is the man. I'm sorry, Benny, it's a fact. I think they're still 1A, 1B. I really do. I mean, Bennington played a hell of a game against the Rangers. Right? I saw somebody, and I won't say who, on Twitter go off, Bennington make a save. I'm sorry. That was a more defensive breakdown than it was on the goalie.
I know who you're talking about, and I want to say that I don't think that he did that on purpose. I think he was being sarcastic. I think he was talking to all the Bennington haters who say that.
Okay.
So I don't think he was being serious. But I will say, but that goes back to the credit. I'm still going to be on this Hofer bandwagon. Hofer is the guy right now, and he is the guy who's earned the net. Bennington is not the guy who's earned the net. When Bennington earns the net back, it'll be his net again. But Hofer, it's his net right now. There's just nothing to it.
Question is, who do you take out? Well, right now, my mind is set. I know whoever comes back next, I know who I take out. May not like this, but I know who I take out.
Well, who's that?
Stenberg. Absolutely.
Well,
take Stenberg out.
Like I said, Stenberg is not going to be a guy that's going to be a consistent mainstay. He's going to go down eventually when the Blues get healthy, because a guy like Berggren, he's going to stay on the roster. They waiver claimed him. He's going to stay on the roster. Although Stenberg has been absolutely outstanding, I'm telling you what, I'm going to love this kid for years to come, because I think that Stenberg is a guy that probably makes this roster next year out of camp. He's a guy
I agree with you. I was thinking about this a little bit earlier. Let me kind of pull something up. You look at who our UFAs are next year, right? Joseph, Torpachenko, and Sundqvist, right? And Fabry. Those are our 4 UFAs. And Matt Luff. Matt Luff goes down too. I thought Luff already went down. Did he? No,
McGinn went down, but I thought I could have swore I saw Matt Luff. Matt Luff might have been recalled, but I don't think so. I thought Matt Luff went back down to the minors.
He's on. I think he's still on the roster. I'm not sure. Well, he's showing. Well, let me do a refresh, because that he may have gone down and they just haven't taken him off the roster. No, he went down. So he went down. He's off the roster.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. So he's down. Yes.
So when right now for me, Steinberg makes 2 of those guys, maybe 3, obsolete. He can you with Steinberg. Steinberg makes this team next season, because either you let Joseph or Sundqvist or Fabry go. Right?
Sundqvist goes. For sure. I don't see the Blues signing Sundqvist. Sundqvist will go. And Joseph has made a strong case on why he's earned a spot here. And Fabry has too. Fabry had a great game tonight.
Yeah. Fabry has too. Well, Fabry's sample size is small, right? And Fabry, the only thing that's like taking me off of Fabry is age. He's 29, so he'll be 30 next year. And this team focus was to get younger, but he's cheap.
I want to say this: Fabry signed a 2-way deal, so Fabry can go down. I believe he can go down in Springfield.
He's still got to clear waivers.
So and I want to say this because I still think that he could clear waivers. I think that there is some guy, some team in the market for a Fabry guy like that in the bottom 6, but who knows? He might not get claimed. You don't know. I mean, maybe that's
if he continues playing the way he's playing, he would get claimed.
Yeah, if he plays the way he's playing, he probably would get claimed. But at the grand scheme of things, Fabry is probably your guy that you probably let go, because with the way Joseph has played and the way Joseph is a locker room guy for this team right now, I don't see how you can let Joseph go. I feel that he is a beautiful guy to have in your bottom 6. He's shown that he can be there. And I think, like you said, Fabry's a small sample size, so would it be the worst thing if Fabry was the one to be let go? No, because I think someone like Stenberg he's going to be good for this team when he comes up. I truly believe that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm on board with you, bud. I'm just looking at the numbers. That's all I'm looking at. Numbers and things. Walker just signed a 2-year extension. So Walker's not going anywhere. Dvorsky, you got 2 more years. Stenberg, you got 2 more years. Snuggerud, you got 1 more year. It's Snuggerud, right?
Yes, Snuggerud.
Or it's not Snugard. It's Snuggerud.
Snuggerud.
Right?
Yes, Snuggerud.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, I was saying Berggren's name right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
they were
crap I was getting about that.
Yeah, well, they were talking about it on Curbs was talking about it on the broadcast in the first period. He was like, "Yeah, I was getting a lot of stuff for saying his name wrong, but like yeah, they go to the players and ask them, and that's completely fine." Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. We still have now. You got that one correct. Now we got to work on your Steinberg one because it's Stenberg, not Steinberg.
Stenberg, yeah.
So just Stenberg. But yeah, I mean. I could see how both of them could have been correct. I didn't think that you were that far off with Berggren, or Berggren, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it does sound like you would be Berggren just without the A when you look at it. So,
Ryan says Berggren asked to play for 30 days minimum because he was picked up on waivers.
Mm-hmm.
It is not Berggren, it is Berggren. That is exact. So Jason's putting the bear up there. It's Berggren, and that's how he told Curbs to pronounce his name. That's exactly how he told him to pronounce his name, Berggren.
Well, and I want to say this too because Berggren sounds about right because who else do we know with the name that started with B-E-R-G? Bergeron. Yeah, so we have Berggren now, so we'll call him correctly now, Berggren. But he was great tonight, and he has been good since coming up. I was talking with Lance, and I don't know if Lance is in here, but I agree with him. Everybody knows that Berggren is a guy who is going to not be a top 6 guy for the Blues. He's going to be a bottom 6 guy, but I liked what Montgomery did tonight, and he rewarded Berggren for being good. That's what he did. He rewarded him for playing well, and it paid off. He had 3 points tonight.
Jason, you're misreading the post. He actually said, and he said on the broadcast tonight, that it is Berggren, and that is exactly what the player told Curbs. That's what the post was. We go to the player and ask them how they want us to say their name. And this is what Berggren, not Bear, Burr, is what they told him. So, and yes, I do. It's just the way I am. I say things quick. So when I see Stenberg, I automatically think of Stein. It just comes out German, right? It's kind of a German name, right? No, I will not say that name. Melo, right? Yeah.
Melo. It's weird. I don't know. I call him Mayu. Because Mayu is it's like male you, but instead of saying male you, like where you really pronunciate the male, I just say Mayu because that's like I feel like that's the Quebec way of saying it. Mayu is what I'm getting from that. But still, names are hard to pronounce. Yes, guy got Berggren right. Yeah, that is right. But like I said, from what I've seen when I watched him play for Detroit, there was times where they called him Berggren as well. So I can see both sides. I'm sure that it's probably a mess up sometimes. But I personally, I don't think players hold it. I don't think players hold announcers to a very, very high standard when it comes to their name. I mean, if their name's easy, they want their names pronounced right. But like for names that aren't in the English language, they probably understand that they're not going to be correctly all the time or correctly said all the time.
Well, look at Xi, right? I mean,
Jack-I.
There's no way you Jack-I. You look at his name. There's no way I get that pronunciation out of it. And I love his nickname. He's got the best nickname in the NHL. The best nickname in the NHL. Him and his brother. It's high Wi-Fi and low Wi-Fi.
Yeah. It's
I'm sorry.
it's weird. I mean, yeah, there's definitely no way when you look at Jack Eye's name that you get Jack Eye from that, because you would think that it starts with a J, right? When you say Jack Eye, right? But it doesn't. It's an X. So it's weird. You don't see too many names in the world, period, that start with an X. So
how the F did we go down this path? Because I thought about the post that was out there. You guys got to understand. Me and Justin, we text all day long. We text most of the day. He's texting me, I'm texting him, and we're looking. Like if he sees something interesting, he sends it to me. If I see something interesting, I send it to him. And it's how we divide up this show. It's how we work on this show. It's the things that we talk about, right? You know, he went off on the referees, and I kind of backed off, and then he kind of listened to my point a little bit because he backed off. He's not as upset now about the goalie interference as he was originally. But I agree. I do understand how upset he is about the
Parayko one. Yeah, the Parayko one is my biggest one. And I came off aggressive on the goalie interference one. I can understand why that one's a little bit more gray and white. Like I said, it was not as egregious as that Seattle one that we saw.
Yeah.
Like the Seattle one was 100% goalie interference. That one I'm not changing my mind on. But this one, I can see why they could call it a goal, and I'm fine with that. But like I said, the Parayko one is where I have a problem with it because it let the Florida Panthers back into a game that they didn't deserve to be in the first place.
And absolutely, I understand your point on that completely. Let's look forward a little bit. We got a couple things coming up. We will be on tomorrow and Monday. Tomorrow, we're going to do 8:00. I can't get anything from the writer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to do 8:00. If he decides to show up, he shows up. Great, right? We'll do the week that was and the week that's coming. Well, I mean, it's the Christmas week, so we'll just kind of do the week that was. Monday, we will cover the Blues and Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, this game, first of all, these two games did not feel like they had a lot of importance being East Coast games. All of a sudden, the Lightning game has a lot of importance for the Blues, right? It feels like now you're talking about, you're saying, okay, you know, Armstrong went and told the guys, nobody's safe, go on a run. Are they doing that? Are they doing that? Because I don't look at the Rangers game as a loss like some people are. Oh my God, they lost again. They didn't win in overtime. Okay. But you know what? They got it to over. They got the point, and they played well the whole game.
Well, and I will say, I didn't go extremely in depth on it, but I will say I did see a lot of Blues fans take our approach that the Blues played well in that game, and they deserved to win that game. So I was pleasantly surprised with the positivity that I actually did see from the Rangers game, being that they lost, because we all know how Blues fans are when we lose. It's the end of the world kind of thing. So I was surprised to see that most people took they still played well, and they probably deserved to win that game, but didn't.
Well, I don't know if those are real people. So Jason says, I love the back and forth banter. A lot of people do. I heard how many were watching earlier. I won't say I told you so. I don't know how real those are because the 10 that went, because they went away so quick, right? I mean, so we're at 5 now. So, and I'm happy with that. You know, last minute show, last thing. Jason Falk, Chad Dieterman, J.N. Davis, my shipmate, and Sharon Spinks. Sharon, my heart still goes out to you. I know how hard this time of year must be with you. I was talking to somebody who knows, and I won't mention who this person is, who knew Roland like I knew him, you know, from not meeting him, but from the show, through the show. And he's had a rough year, and that didn't help anything. You got to step out for a second. Yeah,
just let me grab something real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. But you know, we're doing the best we can. We might be facing some competition. I'm not going to say anything more than that. And if we do, we do. Hopefully we'll get things a little better. I need to get working on TikTok. I need to have more fun with more things with folk talk. Oh, Ryan, you didn't know that? Oh, buddy. Yeah, Roland passed away while I was in St. Louis, man. I thought you knew that. Yeah, Roland passed away while I was in St. Louis, right after I came up from the lake the first time. The day we did our preview show, he passed away in his sleep. And I got to go to the memorial service for him and that, and was able to do some things. So maybe after
what's up?
So just trying. No, I still got a little bit of time. She's still at the grocery store. When she's on her way home, I gotta leave. I gotta end the show. But yes, I had met Roland a couple of times. I had met Roland more than once. Got to see him a few different times. We were close enough, right? And I tell you what, he called me all the time. And the last time he called me, it was about the group, and he was worried that somebody posted something they shouldn't have, and I was driving up. I didn't want to call you out, bud.
Oh, and I mean, it was nothing. He just thought that I added a different group, right? He thought that I hashtagged a different group, but it wasn't. It was just, yeah.
Yeah. But so he called me, and I was on my way up from Pittsburgh, Missouri, Lake Pomme de Terre, and I was probably right around where you live, right? But I was on 44, not 55. So I was right. I was on there. I was coming up through that way. I know I was past Cuba. I was getting close to Q7. And he had kind of asked me to come over. And unfortunately, I've been driving. So that Monday, it was a Monday. I left the lake that Monday, like it's 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And I drove to Springfield, Missouri, and went to the Bass Pro Shops. I had an appointment, a therapy session that I did. I stayed there and did from the car, and then afterwards I went and walked and did the museum there, the World of Wonders, the aquarium, and all of that. And then about 3:30, 4 o'clock, I started heading towards St. Louis. So this is about 8 o'clock, and now this is my first night staying in St. Louis. So I still got to check into my house, right? And I don't want to be too late because sometimes I worry about how the locks are, or if something's wrong, getting a hold of somebody late. So I try and get there as early as I can. And I mean, it turned out okay, but it's still, so I didn't go see him. And, then we started trying to set up for shows and things like that. And then the Sunday show, he was going to help, he couldn't come, but he was going to be on it. And then, Justin can tell you, when I set up for a show, it takes a lot of time. It is not a 5-minute thing. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of brain power. And that's where I was focused. I went to check some messages after I thought we got things set up. And then I got the message from somebody that I did not know telling me that he passed. And that was extremely difficult on me. Right. Ryan, all I can say is I hope so. I was able to speak at a service, and I got some people to say, Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you. And I also got people to wear blues gear to honor him. So that's where we're at.
And I wasn't able to get I wasn't able to meet Roland. For everybody that told me how Roland was, I kind of figured that me and him would have got along great. I knew that me and him were buddies on Facebook and all that. He sent me a friend request. I didn't get the honor of meeting him, but I was hoping that I would have gotten to meet Sharon, his mom. I did end up getting something for the girls. I never got to get that to you. So hopefully eventually I will get that get that to you. But I didn't unpackage these, but these are hats for the girls that I bought because I knew Roland would have liked something like that, the black with the blue note on it. So I wanted to get something for those girls that I know are going through a rough time, and I know Sharon's going through a rough time, especially during the holidays. So I wanted to do something for them and that family, not even knowing them. So, like I said, it's important to be important, or it's nice to be important, but it's even more important to be nice. So I may not have known them, but I wanted to do something good for them. So
I do greatly appreciate that. I hope you know that. I hope you know that I'm not taking that for granted. I greatly appreciate you doing that and understanding who Roland was. You know what I mean? And
sure. His
importance to this show. And I mean, when I started this show, he was the first person to message me and say, man, I love what you're doing. Let's do more. And he's the one that got me to start the group. Right. That was him. So, why is it unavailable? It must be blacked out. Who's playing? No, it shouldn't be blacked out.
Oh, I don't know. But like I said, I don't know if Sharon's still in here watching, but if you are, I'd like to find some time where I can get those to you. For sure.
There we go. I got it, I think. There we go. It's back. Okay. So let's kind of, where are we at now? We're covered. We covered the game. We can
kind of go. You want to go over the out of town scoreboard? I know this isn't like around the town kind of thing, but let's
around the NHL.
Yeah, around the NHL. Let's go with that.
Yeah, let me do that. Let me pull that up real quick. All right. Okay. Out of town scoreboard for Saturday, December 20th, 2025. 10 days before Guy turns 57. 57. How did I get so fucking old? Pardon the language. In a shootout, the Rangers sneak by or defeat, you can say it either way, the Philadelphia Flyers 5-4. Red Wings blow past the Capitals 5-2. Ottawa Senators moved just past the Blackhawks in a high-scoring 6-4 game. Minnesota Wild, a game that we could have used them losing, beat the Edmonton Oilers 5-2. Buffalo Sabres, also in a shootout, beat the New York Islanders 3-2. With 2:36 to go in the second, and I hope that's right. Let me do a quick refresh to make sure. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so it was wrong. The Montreal Canadiens end up shutting out the Pittsburgh Penguins 4-0. The Tampa Bay Lightning, with 15 seconds left, have a 2-goal lead, 6-4 on the Carolina Hurricanes. Predators. They won? Okay, 6-4.
Yeah, 6-4. Yeah.
Okay. Predators ended up defeating the Maple Leafs 5-3. The Canucks and the Bruins are headed into overtime, 4-4. Making sure that didn't just end. I don't think it did because it's on my no. Okay. A little bit later tonight, we have 3 games that will be starting soon. The Knights are in Calgary, the Blue Jackets are in Anaheim, and the Kraken are in San Jose. Cover everything.
For the most part, you got everything there. Because it's good. It's good and crucial to get to the out of town scoreboard so we can kind of see where everything is, especially after a Blues win. They needed that win, like you said. They're only a point behind Utah now. They're a point outside of the wild card spot. It was a big game, and Monday is going to be an even bigger game against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is they're slipping a little bit, but they got the win tonight. So that's going to help them build their confidence a little bit, beating a team like Carolina, who's leading the Metro. So they're going to have a lot of energy coming into the game against St. Louis.
So the Central Division, the Colorado Avalanche are just running away with everything. They are leading this division 25-2-7 with 57 points and 838 point percentage. Freaking unreal. Dallas Stars sitting second at 24-7-5 for 53 points and a 736 points percentage. The Minnesota Wild are in third at 22-9-7 or 22-9-5, 49 points with a 681 point percentage. Utah Mammoths take up fourth. They're 17-17-3 with 37 points, and that means they are 500. St. Louis Blues are now, and again, that could change because the Mammoths are playing today, right? Are they
No.
one of the teams that are no, right?
Yeah. No, they're not.
Okay.
They play tomorrow against the Jets.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then they will have a game in hand on us, right? Mm-hmm. So if they lose, we'll be within the margin on them, keeping pace with them. Let's see here. Where am I at?
It's kind of a lose, not a lose situation, but we need one of those two teams to win, and I mean win in regulation. That both teams don't need to get points.
Who's playing? Who are they playing?
They're playing the Jets. So
okay, yeah.
So they don't want they if you're gonna win, they need one team to win and not You don't want to point. Yeah. You don't want to give somebody to give up a point there. Yeah, mm-hmm. Right. I agree with that one. The Blues are sitting in fifth with 37 games played, 14-15-8, one game under 500 at 36 points. The Jets at 34 games, so they have 3 games in hand, are 15-7-2 with 32 points at 471. At 14-16-4, also 34 games played and 32 points are the Nashville Predators. And then the Blackhawks have played 35 games, are 13-16-6 at 32 points and are in last in the division. The division's tightened up. Right, the division's tightened up, and we've made it tighter. Can we get in the third? Who knows? But we need to right now. The goal it's 500. We got to get to 500 or above before New Year's Day. Right? Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, that should be 3 games left, or 4 games between now and New Year's.
You got the Tampa Bay Lightning. You got Golden. Oh wait, no. You got you got Tampa Bay, the Predators, the Sabres, and the Avalanche. So 4.
So 5 games, right? No, 4 games.
4 games. 4 games. Right. 4 games, including the Tampa Bay game. So yeah, I mean, like I said, the Blues can get over 500. They're perfectly capable of being over 500. The teams that they're playing, the toughest matchup is going to be Colorado and Tampa Bay. You could kind of go 50-50 there, but the Colorado Avalanche game is going to be highly interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how that Blues team handles that Colorado team.
That game is 4:00 my time. It's a little later your time, which is 9, and that's on New Year's Eve. Do you want to do that one? I do, but I understand if you don't.
The Colorado game? Yeah, I mean, I can do the Colorado game. I can do pretty much any game because I'm not working because it's winter break.
You don't have any New Year's Eve plans?
No, guy, come on. You don't know me very well. I know this is your first. I know this is your first winter break with me, but I have nothing ever going on anyways for the holidays. That's why I'm not a big fan of the holidays. But yeah, I'm sure we can. I'm sure we can do the Colorado game because I think that's a game that I'm highly interested in. That's the one game that I'm actually excited the most about because the Blues last year had Colorado's number. They were actually, I think they actually did. I don't know what the record was, but they played Colorado pretty well last year, and they have kind of in recent years. Like it's kind of got better and got better each year. Yeah. So,
right. Well, the game that scares me there is Nashville. Right?
Yeah, well, yeah, especially with the 2 games that they got to beat Nashville. First of all, they need to beat Nashville and they need to beat the Sabres. Those 2 games you need to win. There's no excuse on why you should not win those games.
Nope. And so you're looking at 8 points. I'm saying you need 7 of the 8. Maybe 6. Yeah. I think you can get 6 if you get if you do it 2-0-2, right? If you get 6 that way, I'd be okay with that. Going 3-1-0, not depends on who the one is, right? Depends on.
Well,
who
I
the
could
one
see.
is.
See, it's kind of hard to predict because the Blues haven't been consistent enough to win 3 straight. But
Yeah.
me personally, I can see them beating. I can see them somehow managing to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. I can see them for the stretches of the 2 games that they played Nashville. I can see them getting revenge on Nashville in this one and actually winning this game. And Sabres is interesting because you should beat the Sabres, but you never know. The Sabres could strike lightning at some point. But then Colorado's your hardest test. But the thing that is good for me is the Blues seem to always play very good with good teams. When they play good teams that are competitive, that they know are Stanley Cup contenders, they seem to play them really well. And Colorado, in my eyes, the Blues have actually looked to be the better team. They were the better team. I thought better looking team last year against Colorado. Is that going to extend? Is that going to keep going? Because I was one of those that said that the Colorado Avalanche are going to be on a kind of a downward spiral in a way, but the reemergence of Natchez has kind of turned that around.
Yeah. No, and I think right now it's just going to be the questions. We're going to have a lot to talk about tomorrow and then Monday. Though, if I, since we're going to do Monday, if I can't get this guest, do you want to drop tomorrow? Because we kind of covered most of it today.
Yeah, I mean, we can. I don't know how many people we have watching here.
Right now, 4.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can pose the question in here, and then if you want to pose it in the chat or whatever in your group or whatever, you can pose it and say, hey, do you guys want a Sunday show tomorrow? If they want a Sunday show, I would say do one. If not, then you can just not do it. It's up to you.
We'll play Sunday by ear. I'm going to send Andrew a message and see if I can get a confirmation from him one way or the other. And we'll kind of go from there. Well, guys, I said 20, 30 minutes, and it's an hour. An hour and 10. So good show, man. Good, quick, last minute. Let's get something done show. If we talked about something offline a little bit. We may have some competition. If we get it, great. Hopefully it'll make us better.
Mm-hmm,
right?
For sure.
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not happy with it, but okay. Just means I got to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I got to get better. I got to figure out how to get better. We both got to figure out how to get that better. We want you on every day. We want an everyday show, you dorks. You know what, Jason? Bud, if you knew what I put into this show, there is no freaking way. And I've thought about like doing a Monday through Friday, trying to do a 3 or 4 hour radio show type thing. I don't have commercials. I don't have sponsorship. I don't have the stuff that I need to be able to do a 4-hour show. Right.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd have to be able to play. Well, I could play audio clips. I don't have the time to go listen to every single game out there, and get audio clips from everything. Right. It's
so tough. It's so tough doing it. And like I said, it's so tough to have to go through and dig through all that. It would be so much easier if we had like a sponsor or, something that you could plug, a break in between. We don't have breaks. So, our break is if we say, oh, the BlueNote Fan Report, we'll be right back. That's our break. So
and that's
it's a little easier.
You guys, that's not fair to you guys. I mean, I've had to do it on lives because if I don't, I mean, Justin can, by the way, the Boston-Vancouver game is in the shootout. Justin can attest. I get worn out completely. My voice dries up. I get to a point where I just can't talk. And I got to take the break. Right?
Yeah, you can't go and go and go. You got to have some breaks in there. And like I said, it would be so much easier if we had like sponsors, commercials to throw in there. We don't have all that. So it's not fair to you guys that you guys sit there and look at a screen that just says we'll be right back. I mean, that's not appealing to you guys.
Yeah. So great show tonight. I guess there's only one way to end it.
Yeah, I think we got to ask where the girls are at, man. Where are the girls at?
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo. And I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Who's late for dinner?
Yeah, man, where are the boys? Where are they at?
Hey, boys!
Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, for my fun co-host, Justin Eagle Eye Scott, for the BlueNote Fan Report. We got to let you know that we love you, we're here for you, and we miss you when you're not. Please always remember, just remember, I'm bleeding blue with you.
And as always, it's Let's Go Blues.
We will see you either tomorrow or Monday on the BlueNote